Hi, I'm Danny Lipford.
And I'm Chelsea Lipford-Wolf.
Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And be sure to share with a friend, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show. This week we'll show you some easy home improvement projects that'll protect your home and your family as well.
Today's Homeowner with Danny Lipford, the voice of home improvement, with projects, tips, and ideas to help you improve your home.
Most home improvement projects that you may take on around your home are intended to improve your home. This week we'll look at some very easy projects that'll make your home safer. When you're thinking about a safe home, there's several things to consider. You want to make sure that your family is safe in the event of a fire, as well as your property itself. We'll show you ways to accomplish that. Also, home intrusion is a big problem in a lot of parts of the country. We have a few methods that'll make your home a little more secure. And minor catastrophes do happen, such as water damage in your home that's a result of a broken water pipe. We have some solutions to that as well. We've got a lot to cover. Stay with us. One of the best things that you can do to really protect your family in the event of a fire is to install a proper smoke detector. Now, a smoke detector is recommended to be installed on every level of your home, and this is actually a perfect location for this one because we have 3 different bedrooms at the end of the hallway, so good spot for it. Now, a lot of people don't realize there's 2 different types of detectors. One is a photoelectric alarm that is good for sensing smoldering fires like upholstery or any type of bedding. Another type is ionization, which is good for open flames, such as flammable liquids or maybe a paper fire. So it's recommended to have both kinds. We're kind of lucky here in that this particular one has both types of sensors built right in. Now, when you locate the actual place for the smoke detector and you put your bracket on, then it's nothing more than just simply slipping it right in place and you're ready to go. But it's very important to check the battery on it. 97% of all homes in America now have smoke detectors, but less than 20% of those homes actually check the batteries on a regular basis. It's a good idea to change the batteries completely once a year and then do a little test push on the button at least once a month. That'll ensure that your family's safe in the event of a fire. Now, there's another type of detector that's available for your home as well. Carbon monoxide is something we're hearing a lot about these days. Now, carbon monoxide is a clear, odorless, very dangerous gas that is a result of an improperly operating fuel-burning appliance, such as a water heater or a furnace. Now, you can also have quite an accumulation of carbon monoxide as a result of your car running in a closed garage. So these are all things you need to watch very carefully. And also, to detect any of these problems, it's a good idea to have a carbon monoxide alarm installed in your home. This particular one just plugs right into the wall, and it will actually register the total amount of carbon monoxide you have in your home. Now, that's even if it's a high level concentration in a short period of time or low level over a long period of time. It will obtain all those totals and then alarm if you have a situation where it just gets too high. Now, if the alarm goes off, the first thing you want to do is to make sure that it is the alarm instead of a smoke detector. Then open up windows and doors to ventilate the inside of your home, and then right away turn off anything that could possibly be producing that carbon monoxide. After that, get a technician out right away to find out where the source of that carbon monoxide is. Now, that's the way you take care of things with a high level of carbon monoxide, but if you really have a fire, the best thing for you to do is to get out of the house immediately. If you're on the 2nd floor of a 2-story home, that may not be too easy. In a fire situation, your only exit, the stairs, may be cut off. One solution is a folding fire escape ladder. If possible, it's best that adults set up and assist children in using these ladders, but everyone in the household should be familiar with their operation. In fact, every home should have an emergency plan that prepares family members for these situations.
We need to be prepared for whatever happens to us. Just right now we're zoning in on fires, but we have a great program that's called Together We Prepare at the American Red Cross. We don't say for what. We want you to be prepared for whatever happens to you so that you can alleviate some of the worries. If you know that you've got your kit ready and your plan ready, if something happens, you don't have to stop and think, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? You know what you're going to do. You grab your kit to go and meat, where you've set your meeting places.
Another important part of that plan is to have the right number and the right type of fire extinguishers. Now this one we have tucked away in the closet is one that's pretty much a general purpose use. It's rated ABC, which will take care of just about any type of fire around the house. But it's really not going to do you any good at all if it's tucked away and you can't find it when you need it. Nowadays, manufacturers are making them a lot more attractive so that maybe you won't mind having this a little closer. This one also is a general purpose type, and with a stainless steel finish, blends right in with most appliances these days. Now it's important to remember that a fire extinguisher is designed to clear your path to allow you to escape in the event of a fire. Now on small contained fires like a grease fire, these would be successful in putting that fire out, but first call 911 to make sure the fire truck's on its way in case you can't contain the fire. Now, check out this week's Simple Solution.
It's time for this week's Simple Solution from home repair expert Joe Truini.
A treated fence like this will last a long time, but being out in the weather, it does require a little bit of maintenance. Joe's having to put a few screws in some of the loose boards. Here's the screws you needed, Joe.
Great, thanks, Danny. Yeah, in a case like this, the pressure-treated wood has a tendency to cup a little bit, and when it's just nailed in, as you can see, these were originally nailed in, the nails will just pull right through.
Yeah, that starts looking bad, and also some of the boards will literally fall right off the fence itself.
Right, and part of the problem is when the boards are been out in the sun as long as these have, they get really brittle, almost like petrified wood.
Yeah,
so
and hard, pretty hard to put
hard.
these screws in.
Yeah. So you notice I pre-drill them with a pilot bit first before I drive in the screw. Now that'll keep the boards from splitting,
okay,
but it doesn't really help you drive the screws in any easier. But here's the trick that I'll show you that works great. We're just using galvanized decking screws.
Okay.
And grab a bar of paraffin wax, which you can pick up at any hardware store, or even supermarkets carry it now.
Now I've seen this actually soap being used for the same thing.
Soap works just as well. It makes it go in really easily, but the problem with soap is it contains water. Hold that for me for a second. It contains water and it can rust the screw.
Oh,
so
okay.
Wax is much better, especially when it's warm like that one.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And then you just put it in. If you watch, this will actually pull that board right in to the 2x4 rail on the other side. And because we're drilling really close, screwing really close to the edge, if you didn't have that hole, it would definitely split. And
with using screws and them being galvanized, using the wax, it really will last a long time. You won't have to worry about doing this again, huh?
Well, the next homeowner has to worry about that one.
There you go. Earlier, we looked at ways to protect your family and property in the event of a fire. Now, let's talk about break-ins and burglary. Light is the best way to make your house very unattractive to someone that may be considering breaking in. A light like this, or a floodlight, or landscape lights, any type of lighting that will light up the perimeter of your home will really do the trick. Now, this particular light's gotten to be very popular because it's a motion sensor light, and this one's adjustable to point it in the direction that you think an intruder may be coming. Also, it has adjustments on it for how long the light will stay on, as well as how sensitive the motion sensor will be. Now, this particular one, because of it having the photocell, will not come on during the day, and it's perfect for an arrangement like this door where someone may come up to the door, the light turns on, and will give them the impression that maybe someone's home. Now, this house has a whole house alarm system, which certainly is one of the best ways to detect if anyone is trying to break in your home. Now, it's fairly expensive, but there are cheaper alternatives. Another device senses motion outside the home and then sends a wireless signal to turn on a light inside the house, again, creating the impression someone is home. Another way to achieve this effect is to program a timer to turn on or off interior lights while you're away from home. Interior motion detection is also available in the form of a standalone alarm, which, because it's battery powered, can be mounted virtually anywhere. When these units sense motion, they sound an alarm that can only be silenced by entering the proper code. Single location alarms are also a great low-cost alternative to the whole house system. In the case of this wireless window alarm, the two sections of the unit are backed with adhesive, and one piece is attached to the window frame while the other sticks to the window sash. If properly aligned, there's a magnetic contact between these two sections that, when broken by opening a window, emits a piercing alarm. So much for detection, but what about prevention? One of the best ways to avoid your house getting broken into is to install a good quality deadbolt lock on every exterior door. Now, there's a couple different kinds of deadbolts, and you may need to check with your local building code to make sure of exactly what type you may be able to use because of several safety issues. Here's a good example. This is a single cylinder deadbolt which has a key on this side and a thumb lock on the other side. Now, in the event of a fire, you can get out very easily, which is a lot different than a double cylinder deadbolt that has a key on each side that would require a key to open it in case you have to get out very quickly. Now, some people like the double cylinders because if you have glass on the door or glass adjacent to the doorway, someone could break the glass out and reach in and unlock the door. So it's very important to check with the building codes in your area. Now, the most important thing is to have a good quality deadbolt and one that has at least a 1-inch throw like this one does. That will ensure that it gets into the door jamb to protect it, to protect you from the break-in. But you know, like they say about a chain, that the chain is only as strong as the weakest link. Well, the same in the situation of the integrity of your door jamb itself. If someone came up to a door and kicked it open, you want a lot of strength here to keep it from just blowing out this back side of this. One of the key things there is to make sure these screws are long enough. Now, so many of them have very short screws just like this one, and what you need is a longer screw like this one that'll go into the trim work and extend on into the framing itself. So we'll replace these two screws, and that'll certainly improve it very easily. And there, now that goes back into the studs. That'll make it a lot stronger, but I've got a trick to make it even stronger. I begin by removing the interior trim on the latch side of the door frame to expose the spot where door jamb and wall itself meet. I'm being very careful not to damage the molding so that it can be reused later. This steel building plate will provide added strength to the jamb just inside the lock, but we don't want it to be visible, so I'm chiseling out the wood about 1/8 of an inch deep so that the trim will fit back over it. It's a good idea to drill pilot holes for the points where we'll screw the plate to the door jamb. 1.5-inch screws will work for that, but I'm also using 3-inch screws to tie the plate to the wall stud for extra holding power. What we've created is just an extra layer of support for the deadbolt and the door jamb, because with the plunger engaged, if someone were to kick the door, the only thing preventing it from tearing out the back side of the jamb is a small little piece of wood. With this in place, that won't be a problem. Now, this is the type of doorway that's very attractive for someone to break in because it's in this little alcove and it's not visible from the street out front. So this is a great idea here, but really a good idea for any doorway at your house.
Let's join Danny at the Home Center to check out this week's best new product, brought to you by the Home Depot.
Most homeowners recognize the benefits of using fluorescent lights. They're cheaper to operate, the bulbs last a lot longer, and they provide a nice even light in the room that you're lighting. But in the past, they haven't been very attractive. Now, over the years, certainly the look has improved, but now Hampton Bay has kind of raised the bar on the style of fluorescent lights with their new flush mount lighting system. Now, you can see several examples here, 2-foot, 4-foot. You also have the oval shape as well as the round shape that's available in this line, and it's also available in brushed nickel finished and brushed steel. Now, they use a 1-inch fluorescent tube, and because they're so efficient, they've actually earned the Energy Star rating. Now, one of the complaints I've heard in the past about fluorescent light, particularly in a kitchen area, is the loud hum that's associated with that. Well, these have an electronic ballast which will reduce that hum by 90%. So, if you're doing a little remodeling around your home that includes changing some of the ceiling light fixtures, you might consider this line from Hampton Bay. We've talked about how to protect your home and family from fires as well as intruders and break-ins. Now let's talk about protecting your home from water damage. Now, I'm not talking about a little bit of wood rot or a few shingles missing that cause a roof leak or maybe a flood. I'm talking about the water damage that can occur from the water that you actually pay to bring into your home through your water meter. You know, pipes inside your home can freeze during a hard freeze. They can thaw, cause a lot of flooding. You can have a malfunctioning toilet, maybe a water heater that goes bad, and you would be amazed at how much damage that can occur from a broken water line. Behind this washing machine is a source of a lot of leaks around many, many homes. Now, let me tell you why. The lines that run from the water supply to the back of the washing machine many times will get old and rupture and just flood the entire house. Here we don't have to worry about it because these are braided stainless steel water supply lines that are available for washing machines as well as any of the faucets that you may have around the home or any of the toilets that you may have. Now this is very important as a preventative measure. These are a little bit more expensive, but they're guaranteed for 10 or 15 years. You just don't have to worry about it. Well worth the effort and well worth the money. Now if you want to take this prevention effort a step further, let me show you something. The problem with so many leaks around the home, they're pretty hard to detect, especially if they're in remote areas of your home like the attic, basement, or maybe a toilet that's seldom used. And early detection of a leak in your home is very important to minimize the amount of damage that can occur. I have a system that can take care of that problem. It's called the water cop. Let me explain to you how it works. First of all, there's a series of water sensors and transmitters that you can locate throughout the home wherever you think a leak might occur. It has a little sensor here that just lay right on the floor. Then, in the event of a problem, it sends a signal back to this emergency water cutoff, which has your water line routed right through here, and in the event of water, it actually will sound an alarm and cut this off. Let me show you how it works. Got a little bit of water here. The sensor senses a leak. You can hear the signal, the alarm. It signals back to this, which actually closes the valve so all water to your home is cut off so that no other water will continue to pump out onto your nice floor. Now this is a pretty neat idea, and it'll continue beeping like this until the problem has been solved. Then in order to turn the water back on in your house after the problem's been solved, you can manually just push the button here to open the valve again. And it even has a remote button that would work real well, say at the top of a staircase in a basement situation, that allows you to manually turn the water on and off at any time. This would be real convenient if you're doing maybe a little plumbing repairs yourself around the home to manually be able to take care of this. Now the transmitters run both on regular battery power as well as an AC cord, so it's very versatile in that sense, and a great peace of mind for only about $300 for the entire house. Hey, now check out our Around the Yard.
Let's head outside for Around the Yard with lawn and garden expert Tricia Craven-Worley. Brought to you by TimberTech Composite Decking.
Tricia tells me that she has a method of planting seeds very evenly, but Tricia, it really looks like an arts and crafts project here.
Well, this is a project that's part crafts and part garden, and it would be something really fun to do with the children.
Oh, that's good.
What this is, I'm creating a seed tape, and what the seed tape will do is prevent us from having to thin them out once we're in the garden. You know how you always plant them and then you have to take out the little plants?
Yeah, never understood that.
Yeah, well, this way they're already exactly how you want them to be. So we've spaced these out on this 1-inch strip of biodegradable newspaper that you couldn't put in the garden. And then I've made a very simple paste that every mother and child knows how to make, a paper mache type paste of flour and water to the consistency of gravy. This is about a ½ cup. And I'm going to put in a little bit of all-purpose fertilizer.
Oh, okay, to give the seeds a little bit of a head start.
Right, so if you get those seeds ready, I'm just going to daub a little bit of this flour paste on here, and we get them all set up. This is something you might do on, Friday, and then Saturday. By that time the paste would be dry, and you can just go out to the garden and start planting them in their little rows.
So all you have to do is just let this dry a little bit and then just lay these down and put a little dirt on top.
Right, and you can do this in any kind of pattern. If you want to create a very beautiful pattern, you can do that too.
Another great safety tip is to know who's at your door before you open it. Now, if you have glass on either side like we have here, that's not a problem, but if not, you may consider installing a peephole. Very inexpensive, very easy to install. Now, if you don't have deadbolts on your entry doors, get busy and install those this weekend. If you do have deadbolts, consider the trick we shared with you earlier about reinforcing the door jamb. It really does work. Smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors have proven to save a lot of lives, so consider installing both of those this weekend as well. If you already have them, check those batteries on a regular basis. The main thing is to have a plan so that your family and home can be safe and sound. I'm Danny Lipford. We'll see you next week. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to comment, like, and hit the bell icon so that we can notify you when new videos are posted.
And don't go anywhere, click around and continue the home improving fun.